So one of our just absolute favorite charities that we support here on the Mike Slater Show, and we do to a lot, but just the group that has it together perhaps the most, they just have such a beautiful mission that I absolutely know will change the world. It can, once this continues to succeed here, it will be the proven model for the entire country. I'm just so excited every time we get a chance to support them. And Laura Bush is coming to town soon to support them as well, so we'll learn all about that. But right now, in case you don't know anything about them yet, you will now. I want to go to the founder and CEO of Solutions for Change, Chris Megison. Chris, how are you today?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Fantastic. So good to talk to you. And gosh, first of all, I'm so glad that this filler stuff is done for many, many reasons. And one of them is that we can talk about important stuff now. We can move on past all this nonsense and talk about the amazing things that people are doing to change the lives of our neighbors. And that's what you're doing with Solutions for Change. Now, I don't think we've talked since the show has changed times from 9 to noon. So there may be a lot of people here who have never heard of Solutions for Change or haven't heard us talk before. So I'd love to hear the beginnings of Solutions for Change and what it is you guys do exactly.
Well, Mike, Solutions for Change, it came about in 1999. My wife and I encountered a homeless family living in a winter shelter. And we had been helping homeless men up here in North County for a number of years, and all of a sudden here we're working in this shelter. It's my wife and I, my two boys, and so just kind of our family helping out, and all of a sudden I start seeing all these kids and families showing up at the winter shelter, and one night this little girl pulled on my sleeve and she looks up at me and she says, "Hey, mister, do you live here too?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, man, I'm an old Marine, so I'm not supposed to tear up, but I get down on one knee and I look at her and I said, 'You know what, sweetheart, I don't live here, but I tell you what, I'm going to do everything I can to get you and she's holding her and she gets into a home." And in that, she kind of teared up and she gets into a home. And in that, she kind of teared up and she gave me a hug and I gave her a hug. And in that moment, that's when Solutions for Change was really born. We said, my wife and I looked at each other and said, how can we allow these families just here in North San Diego County, in one of the greatest places you could want to live in the world, and just sleeping on these floors? And so we figured out, it didn't take us long to figure out that the homeless response system was super inadequate. I mean, it was very inadequately equipped to deal with this problem. And so we chose the name Solutions for Change. We kind of struck out, we casted a vision around what is it going to take to solve this thing. And what we quickly figured out was there's all these ways of managing symptoms. So a person's hungry, you feed them, they're cold, you shelter them. But, people weren't getting out of homelessness. They were just stuck in this thing that we call the churn. So it's in and out, in and out. All the while, it's super costly. So, people that are on welfare and food stamps and getting all this public aid start adding up the cost, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year for the family to be stuck in the system. They might get out for a couple of weeks, they get into a shelter, or maybe they get a motel voucher. And so we chose a new name, Solutions for Change, for that reason, Mike. We said, you know what, we're going to try to do something really nutty here. We're going to actually go after this thing at the core, and we're going to try to solve family homelessness, one family, one community at a time. So we casted that vision, and my goodness, people just started rallying around the message and the vision of, you know what, shelters aren't working. A lot of these handout programs lead to dependency. That doesn't work. And what can we do here to really just change the whole mindset? And that was 99. And since then, Mike, we've been able to lead over 1,300 kids and 650 families out of this churn, out of deep poverty, out of this thing where people just get stuck, back into homes with jobs, equipped with the skills, knowledge, and resources they need to beat this thing forever. And that's what Solutions for Change is all about.
Think about this. You said 1,300 kids?
Yeah.
Okay, so that I'm throwing this number out here. Maybe 90% of those kids would remain homeless for the rest of their lives, something like that. So let's say 1,000 people you prevented, 1,000 adults you prevented from, or I should say 1,000 kids you prevented from being homeless when they were adults, something like that, right?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, it's really what we're talking about is generational transformation. So because these kids, as they grow up in deep poverty and homelessness, what are they going to become? I mean, Mike, they're going to be the next person, the next adult human being that we have to step over on the way into Petco Park. You know, it just saddens me deeply that I look at this, you know, the human tragedy down in San Diego with all these, you know, so, I mean, Mike, you know, you and I have talked about this, but, you know, right now today, the United States of America is spending anywhere between $200 and $250 billion a year in this industry or this thing called homeless services. Yet the numbers of homeless people keep going up and up. And so what you and I, we talked about this before, this is not a money, a people, or a resource problem, Mike. This is a design issue. It's all design. It's a faulty design. Change the design, we change the results, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get more people to see this it's a design issue. We don't need more money, people, and resources. We need to change the design. If we can do that, this thing is solvable. Yet we're letting homelessness, you know, kick us in the rear ends. Like, you know, we're showing up to a fight with pitchforks and battle axes, thinking we're going to be able to win this war against homelessness. And the impacts of homelessness just keep kicking us. And, you know, what we're trying to do here is mobilize the community, mobilize people to say, you know, that's it, man. That's it. We don't have to just accept that, you know, this thing's going to continue to cripple us as a community, as a society. It's so expensive, Mike. I mean, it's just so that's
crazy.
What we're trying to do.
It's crazy. And I love how you talked about the system is broken. And we talk about this all the time. First of all, one of our guiding principles, you know it is, Henry David Thoreau, there are thousands hacking at the branches of evil to every one who is striking the root. Yeah. And you guys are striking the root. And obviously one of the main catchphrases is a hand, welfare is a handout, not a hand up. You guys are the hand up. But you talk about broken systems. Like education is a broken system, but we just want to throw more money at it. Healthcare, it's a broken system, but we just want to throw more money at it. Same with homelessness. And that's why you guys are such a blessing, because you've absolutely changed the system. Give us the rundown on the 1,000-day university program.
Right. So, I mean, here we're trying to solve really tough social issues. You're not going to do that in a 3-month winter shelter, Mike. You're not going to even do that in a 6-month program or even a year program. You're going to do it, though, if you go a full-on engagement. So we have a 1,000-day partnership, a 1,000-day experience that we call the Solutions University. So, like, you know, when you and I started adulthood, let's just, you know, say that we started at a certain level and then we go on, we go to college, or, you know, for me, I joined the Marine Corps and we do this thing called life, and it's up and down. Well, for the people that we're engaging, they're way below that line. So what we do is then gap between the two lines. So we might get somebody who, you know, like, you know, you met Lily, you know, her mom and dad sold drugs, you know, her dad eventually, you know, was in and out of prison, died of AIDS. Her mom was killed in a drive-by shooting from rival gang members. And so here's Lily, you know, at 16 years old, who then just, you know, rages and goes on a 22-year, you know, to the depth of where you could go, and then find solutions for change. And now she's off all the public aid and working full-time now, 7 years out of our program, and completely rebuilt her life. Well, that doesn't happen in a few months. I mean, it took us, you know, 2.5, 3 years working with Lily, putting this thing together, and she now has completely transformed her life, but also her 3 boys.
Yes.
Not one of them, Mike, ever went. Not one of them. Not one person in her history, her family lineage, going all the way back, her great-great-grandmother. Nobody went to college. Well, her boy now is in college. The other 2 boys are star football players in the area high school. And so now each one of those kids were headed for the next generation of some really bad stuff. So that's just one example.
Come on. I mean, come on. Now, nothing's more important than that, but just for the sake of discussion and knowledge, because, again, this is not the most important thing, but the cost of this. How much does it cost for Lily to have gone through her 1,000-day Solutions University program versus, let's say, 1,000 days of welfare and charity, or welfare and
right.
shelters and all that?
Right. So there's been many studies done. I mean, they've done them in L.A. San Diego's done a little bit, but a lot of the bigger urban centers, L.A., New York, a lot of places have done these studies that say it's about $60,000 a year to just let a person, a homeless person or a person in deep poverty, in the what I call the churn. So in and out of services, in and off the street, over and over again, on differently publicly funded. You get sick, you go to the emergency room. All that adds up. So $60,000. Some studies are as high as $130,000, $140,000 a year for the most chronic. So you look at that, and then only 20% are getting out, and the other 80% are returning thing over and over and over. That's how you get to the $250 billion a year. That's not solving anything. Versus Lily and her entire family going through Solutions University, $22,500 a year for her entire family to go through one full year of the Solutions University. So you times that by 3 years, because that's the full-on engagement of that. So roughly $65,000 for the entire family to solve it permanently. And now they're not consuming all those publicly funded services anymore. They're now working and and contributing to a healthier tax base, and not just paying taxes, Mike, but when you take somebody like Lily out of the really bad stuff that people will do in that kind of situation, and now they're serving others, they're contributing, they're having a positive net impact on society, not only economically, but just Lily is a rock star. I mean, she serves others now. She comes at this with a humble heart, and she is serving and helping other people that we are helping. And it's just a beautiful thing. I mean, so,
amazing.
The net difference between, $60,000 a year just kind of swirling around, consuming as much as you can. And you and I have talked about this too. There's this, we're up against these, really deep-seated issues of entitlement mentality. And I know people get sometimes mad at me when I talk about this, but, this self-centeredness and selfishness. And what we're trying to do here, it's really just a grassroots effort, Mike. This is not a government-centered program. This is a family helping families, people helping people, a community-centered model that says, you know what, we used to, people used to help each other, 100 years ago, not even that long ago. I mean, you had community. People, if they ran into tough times, people would help each other. And you grab one bootstrap, we'll grab the other one. Let's do this thing. And today, it's like you run into a little bit of hard times. There's no sacrifice and very little sacrifice. And then it's like, where's my check? There's got to be some kind of welfare, check or some kind of check, right, Chris? And when they come into Solutions, we say, hey, we're going to do this thing called work. We're going to get up, suit up, and show up, and we're going to work. And so, I don't want to make it sound kind of funny, Mike, but so many times people haven't even had that experience.
Yeah.
They don't they look at what's work. Yeah, you get the kids up and get them fed. They go off to school, and then you go to work. And that's what we do together. And so many people, man, are when you all of a sudden get shoulder to shoulder with them and you start doing this thing, there's so much hope and so you just see them light up, and it's like, wow, freedom. I can be free of government subsidized stuff, and I can be free, and I can just be a free person, and I can then teach my kids how to be free. And it's a beautiful thing to be part of.
I love everything you're saying. Can you hang on for one quick second? I want to talk more about this.
Yep.
If you could share another success story. I want to talk about your expanding now and how incredible that is. Your Solutions Farm. Last time we talked, you guys weren't selling any of that food yet, so I'm excited to get some. And also, you got Laura Bush coming to town in just a few weeks here. So lots more to talk about with Chris Megison, founder and CEO of Solutions for Change.
Sean Hannity.
Women are being raped in Tahrir Square. Everybody's talking about democracy. The dictator Mubarak is gone. And what did I say? Who's going to replace Mubarak? And then I said there's only one organized, likely opposition to replace Mubarak. And I said it's the Muslim Brotherhood. Well, that all came to pass. It's still in limbo as we speak. Now ask the question, who's going to replace Assad?
Follow Sean Hannity today from noon to 3 on AM 760.
AM 760 traffic southbound side of the 15 at about the 56. There is a stalled vehicle. It's in the second lane from the left. I can see that traffic is backing up to about Carmel Mountain Road. 150 bands, 20 stages, 2 days, and 1 ticket. Don't miss the 6th annual San Diego Music Thing this Friday and Saturday. Get tickets and details now at SanDiegoMusicThing.com. Follow Sean Hannity from noon till 3 on AM 760 KFMB.
So we've been bad-mouthing SDG&E a lot lately. Apparently we have no SDG&E employees because none of them have ever emailed me like, stop talking so badly about it. Or maybe they do work for them and they agree. But either way, it's not all their fault. It's also the California Public Utility Commission's fault, which has a $1.4 billion annual budget. Think about that. $1.4 billion for the California Public Utility Commission. And they don't do anything except prohibit other electricity providers from coming in and competing. They're the ones who set the rates. Amazing. Your rates are always going to go up and your taxes are always going to go up. You got to pay for this to California Public Utilities Commission. Call Solar Alliance of America. Get out of this system. Your monthly payments for your solar panels, which you own, will always be lower than what you're paying now, and the payments will never go up. So all these news stories about rates going up another 13% or whatever, who cares? It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you at all. That's the way it should be. Call Solar Alliance of America, San Diego's fastest growing private company. 1-855-SOLAR, 1-855-SOLAR, or SolarAllianceofAmerica.com.
We all want to make money, but do you want to make a lot of money? Get ready, San Diego, because on September 16th through 21st, the Flipping Formula is coming to you.
Hi, it's Dave and Pete from A&E's hit show Flipping Boston. We're looking for a few people who want to join our real estate team right here in San Diego.
It's time to stop just talking about flipping houses and start doing it. We're searching for a few people in your area who want to make a lot of money, deal after deal, in your spare time using little or none of your own money.
This is your chance to finally get started in real estate. The tickets to their San Diego training events are 100% free if you call 1-800-261-7313 right now. Plus, if you register in the next 5 minutes, you'll get their best-selling book, The Flipping Formula, absolutely free. Don't wait. Seating is limited, and this event will sell out. Get your free tickets now. 1-800-261-7313. That's 1-800-261-7313.
Here in San Diego County, 1 out of 4 women can't afford a life-saving mammogram. And yet we know that when it's caught in its very earliest stages, 98% of women survive breast cancer. My name is Laura. I'm a San Diego native and a survivor of breast cancer of almost 9 years. I'm surviving because I did get a mammogram.
Join me at Race for the Cure 5K Run Walk on Sunday, November 3rd in Balboa Park. When you take your first step in the race, you're helping an uninsured woman and her family right here in San Diego. Register today, colemansandiego.org.
Hi, I'm Adam, one of the founders of Palomar Solar and lead energy consultant. Are you curious about solar and wanting to eliminate your electric bill, but tired of all the gimmicks and high-pressure sales tactics from other companies? No free iPads or gift cards here, just an honest assessment of whether solar makes sense for you. My promise to you is to help you make a great, well-informed decision whether you choose Palomar Solar or not. Call a local name you can trust to eliminate your electric bill at 760-504-0388. A free consultation with Palomar Solar will not waste your time. 760-504-0388.
Hi, I'm Senator Mike Lee. On October 1st, millions of Americans will have to begin enrolling in Obamacare. Many could lose their doctors and be forced to pay higher premiums and higher taxes. Obamacare is unaffordable and it's unfair. The president has exempted big businesses, but middle-class Americans will still have to comply. Republicans in Congress can stop Obamacare if they simply refuse to fund it. I'm working to lead this effort, but I need your help. Please tell Congress, don't fund Obamacare.
Please join Senator Mike Lee in the fight to stop the implementation of Obamacare. Call toll-free 1-800-460-9591 to sign the official voice petition to defund Obamacare. Again, please call 1-800-460-9591 in the next 5 minutes to make your voice heard. This is our best chance to stop Obamacare. That number again, 1-800-460-9591. Paid for by Senate Conservatives Fund and not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. SenateConservatives.com.
Hi, Jeff Isaac here, the lawyer in blue jeans. I want to let you know that I am back on 760 KFMB. Join me every Saturday, 5 to 6 p.m. right here on 760 KFMB.
Follow Glenn Beck.
What's happening to us?
Tonight from 6 to 9.
We have got to stand up for our freedom of conscience.
On AM 760.
Joined again by Chris Megison, founder, CEO of Solutions for Change, whose mission is to end family homelessness in San Diego and then ultimately around the country. And they're well on their way. It's just an honor to support you. And you have some other high-profile people supporting as well. Tell us about the Laura Bush fundraiser coming up soon.
Yeah, so a few years ago, we were the regional leaders here got really fired up and excited about what we're doing, Mike. And so, these are folks that have influence and have connections with world leaders. And so next thing you know, we got kind of Lisa Rice that came in 2011. She keynoted, and then last year, America's Mayor, Rudy Giuliani. And this year, we're just really blown away and so grateful to have the former First Lady, Miss Laura Bush, come in. And she'll be coming in September 21st at La Costa Resort and Spa. And, her position on education, and that's a big part, Mike, of what the engagement is with Solutions for Change, because we know that the answer to poverty or deep poverty, it's education and it's work ethic and it's getting healthier body, mind, and spirit. And so so there's no better person that we could think of that could come in and really call people to our vision and our mission of solving family homelessness.
Great.
So,
and it's September 21st.
Yes.
And it's at La Costa?
Yes.
Which is beautiful. By the way, I've been to this fundraiser twice before, and I've never gone to anywhere else in La Costa. I've only just gone to the venue that you guys have it in. That place is stunning. It's beautiful. Great. It's unbelievable. So people should make a weekend of it as well, if you can take the opportunity. I want to ask you, because this is relevant to what we've been talking about a lot these last few weeks, and now post-Filner, and it's something that we've been really trying to learn from. Tell us about how you, in your 1,000-day university program, Solutions University program, and really helping people with a hand up, tell us how you address destructive behavior and these things that homeless shelters do not address and welfare cannot address and government cannot. How do you guys address different destructive behaviors?
Great question. We've become a nation of symptom relievers, Mike. And so the traditional way to address somebody who's hurting, that's in this situation like homelessness or deep poverty is and I get it, right? I mean, I've done it myself, right? I mean, it's like you want to alleviate some of that suffering. So you want to, maybe volunteer from your church and go in and serve at a soup kitchen. Those things are important, right? But when you start stacking those things up, Mike, what they become is just a series of what I call compassion transactions. Now, is it a good thing? I mean, that you can reach out and help somebody? Well, yes, of course, it's a great thing. That person might feel good, and then you might feel good, but then it's over, and then the next compassion transaction comes in. And what we learned early on, Mike, is that we have got to go deeper. And how do you go deeper? You have to connect with people, and you have to build trust. And so really, I know I'm talking kind of at a 30,000-foot level here because there's so much that we do, but really what we're doing is we're getting shoulder to shoulder with people, and we're looking at them and we're saying, you know what? It's okay, man. Talk about this. What's gone on? And what we find out are deep hurts, Mike. People that have been really hurt as kids, that have been carrying this hurt around for a long time. And, when you get hurt deeply as a kid, like a lot of the people that we help here, all of a sudden now you get into really bad relationships, many of them do, and they begin to live out that same stuff. Well, if we don't help them address that, Mike, if we don't help them go deeper and really learn how to forgive themselves and forgive other people, I know I'm kind of talking like a therapist would, but really it's just people loving and caring for each other, but it's also accountability, because here's what's happened, Mike. A lot of times people enable, and we become the great society of enablers. So, and by enabling, we stay on the surface, and at Solutions for Change, we honor and respect a human being and a person. We say, you know what? We're going to go deeper with you, man, and we're going to be there for you. And it might get messy, like, most relationships, if it's really a relationship, it's going to get messy. It might get a little messy, but you know what? It's okay. You know what? Stay with us. Sometimes they want to run. Sometimes we want to run. But you know what? We work through it together. Next thing you know, all of a sudden there's an unburdening, there's a lightening up. People now, they're walking with their head up. They're going to work. They're working a whole day. It's like, wow, some people haven't worked, in years, and now they're back in the workforce. There's a sense of confidence. Their self-esteem is up, and they're free, Mike. They're people who say, you know what, I can do this thing, and I can be a servant leader. I can teach my kids how, that life is kind of a series of, choices. Sometimes they're tough choices, but I'm going to have to make sacrifices. But it's all about personal responsibility, Mike. It's a main theme here, personal responsibility. It's not a bad phrase. It's not a bad word. And so we're just teaching people how to get up, suit up, show up, how to take on life. And that's what we do. It's just go deeper and just serve others, serve for the sake of others, but do it in a way that will equip them with the skills, knowledge, and resources they need to reach their dreams. And, government has a role, Mike. I mean, I get it, but you know what? Its role, it should be to kickstart. It should be to provide opportunities where people can grow and become better people and better, folks in the workforce and in our society, not dependent.
Yeah, and that's and you guys are doing it right. And I love what you said there about these people are free. Once they get off the government dole and they stand up on their own two legs, they're free. And I've talked to people who've gone through the program who express that in such a beautiful way. Chris, I hate we have to run. I'm trying to word this sentence properly. I think this is the best I can put it. There is nothing that I've encountered in my life that is a truer embodiment of everything we need more of in this country and of everything we talk about on this show than Solutions for Change.
Awesome.
It is perfection. And it's such an honor to be a part of what you guys are doing. Where can people learn more, donate, be a part of, volunteer, and sign up and join you and Laura Bush on September 21st?
Come be part of this imperative. Some call it a movement. I like to call it an imperative. It's an imperative to solve this thing. Come be part of it. Go to solutionsforchange.org. You can find all about the Laura Bush event there. You can find out all about a way to get engaged and to be part of, to come in here with us and help us rebuild lives and change this thing. We're changing attitudes and rebuilding lives. We want you involved. Please go to the website at solutionsforchange.org and you can find out more.
And you'll learn there that the average age of a resident is 8 years old. Chris, wonderful. Thank you for saving lives. Let's talk again next week before Laura Bush comes to town.
Sounds great.